good, Commanders fan? This is gonna be a legit quick video because it's 10:57 and I gotta get ready for things tomorrow. Congrats to John Bates. Congrats to him. There's not a lot of stats that you can really go off on John Bates. You just gotta watch the tape and watch the games with John Bates. It is what it is because a lot of the things that he does are intangible things. Run blocking, of course, you can see it, and what he does a great job of whether it's pass protection, run blocking, whatever they ask him to do, the little things, John Bates is going to do it. They're not little things; those are big things. The things that are not sexy that are going to show up on the stats, like Zach Ertz getting 66 catches in a season and 7 touchdowns. You know, you're just not going to see those type of stats. So John Bates, you know what you're getting from John Bates, man. You're gonna get a workhorse day in and day out. Wears his hard hat. I think he has a mullet. Looking at his picture, he has a mullet actually. You're just gonna get a tough son of a gun, man. And he fits the identity. He fits the culture. 27 years old, 4th round pick, 6'6". He's a big fella, man. I didn't know he was 6'6", 6'6", 259 pounds. He's a house. 8 catches for 84 yards this season. He had his rookie season. He had 20 catches for 249 yards. That was the most production we've seen from him as far as a receiving tight end. And he had 1 touchdown. He had 14 catches for 108 yards and 1 touchdown. In 2022, 2023, he had 19 catches for 151 yards. And then this past season, 8 catches for 84 yards. Played in 17 games, 16 games in 2022. All the other seasons, he played 17 games. Started 6 games this year. So, like I said, receiving stats for him, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant for him. It's really irrelevant. He did have a fumble. He fumbled against Dallas. That was awful. And then he had a fumble his rookie year, and then he had a fumble his sophomore year. So he does need to clean that up. I know it's 1 fumble per season, but you're only getting 8 catches, bro. Like, you shouldn't be fumbling. You shouldn't be fumbling at all. And then I know Cliff tried to do a tight end screen with John Bates. Like, he's not the guy for that. But he did have a big 3rd down catch in the playoffs against the Lions in Detroit to move the chains. That was a big catch. I think we eventually scored on that drive and probably was a touchdown, I believe. So John Bates, man, he is instrumental, but I know everybody's talking about Ben Sinnott. What's going on with Ben Sinnott? It is what it is with him, guys. Just, I wouldn't get my hopes up about Ben Sinnott. Zach Ertz is going to get 99% of the snaps, clearly, just like this year. It's going to be the same thing. Like, they're running it back with the same tight end room, which is not a bad thing. Of course, we would like to see them get younger and give younger guys opportunities, but if Zach is getting it done, and if he's best friends with Jaden on the field, and he's his security blanket, and he's getting first downs and converting on 4th downs and getting touchdowns, and Jaden Daniels loves Zach Ertz, then you don't change that for your franchise quarterback. You just keep it the same. Keep everything easy for your franchise guy in Jaden Daniels. If him and Zach Ertz have great chemistry, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my look. That's my thought. Don't try to force Ben Sinnott because you want to, just because you spent the 2nd round pick on him. I get it. You want to give him as many opportunities as possible. He's got to earn it at the same time. But like I said, Zach Ertz had a great season last year, so I don't blame Adam Peters for keeping it the same. If it ain't broke, don't fix it type energy type thing. But yeah, John Bates, 20. There was one stat that I did find about John Bates actually. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Like I said, I didn't want to make this video too long. John Bates in the 2021 season, 1st in the NFL in PFF run blocking grade for tight ends, 12.8 yards per catch, which is 9th in the NFL for tight ends, 13th most receiving yards among rookie wide receivers and tight ends his rookie year. So that was from Commander Stats back in January 5th, 2022, recapping the 2021 season for John Bates, and Taylor Heinicke was the starting quarterback for a majority of that season. So I did see he had a nice catch against the Eagles. So he showed some receiving prowess in that 2021 season, his rookie year, 20 catches for 249 yards. That's pretty decent. That's not bad. If he can give us that, that would be nice. Give us something other than Zach Ertz, we didn't get much. Like Ben Sinnott had, 5 catches for 32 yards? Something like that on the season. And like he had a 1-yard touchdown catch, which I'm not going to put down Ben Sinnott's touchdown catch. I mean, I'm happy he had the touchdown catch that he got. He had 5 catches for 28 yards and a touchdown. That's what he gave us last year, and a couple penalties. But he had a heck of a preseason. I'll say that for Ben Sinnott. All right, so let's move on to Dyami and Dante Fowler, man. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Now, look, I'm not going to act like I was in the room, in the negotiation room. Who knows what Adam Peters offered these guys? Because of obviously they had conversations. Dante Fowler is not a happy camper. Dami Brown is not a happy camper right now. So it really looks like both these guys are out, man. It looks like they're gone. Dante Fowler went on Twitter and said, the disrespect, ... I can't take it anymore. And then Dyami Brown, whose page is private on Twitter, I'm not going to show the tweet on here because I don't have a lot of time to edit. He puts exclamation point, exclamation point. That's what Dyami puts above. He quote tweets Dante Fowler's tweet with 2 exclamation point emojis. Dante Fowler earlier deleted a tweet saying this. I'm going to pull this up real quick. I'm going to just read it to you guys. He says, I play half of the snaps and got the same stats of the people y'all be D-riding, Jimmy riding, dingling riding on. Make it make sense for real. I'm tired of this shiggity emoji. So I'm going to say this again. I play half of the snaps. This is what Dante Fowler said on Twitter. I play half of the snaps and got the same stats of the people y'all be Jimmy riding or dingling riding on. Make it make sense for real. I'm tired of this shiggity emoji. So, like I said, Dante Fowler, man, I'm a big Dante Fowler fan. He had a heck of a season, 10.5 sacks, had a pick 6, had an out-of-body experience. This is the best season that he's had in his whole career. People say, I always say I don't want to call him a bust, but people are like, yeah, he was a bust for what he was supposed to be. He was the 3rd pick of the draft, and he's bounced from team to team. Jacksonville, the Rams, Atlanta, Dallas. You know, him being the 3rd pick of the draft, he's already been on, 5 teams already throughout his career. I mean, it's a good thing he's still in the league, but this is a career high in sacks for him. He had 11.5 sacks with the Rams, so it's not a career high. But other than that, he had 3 sacks with Atlanta in 2020, 4.5 sacks in 2021, 6 sacks with Dallas in 2022. 2023, he had 4 sacks. 4 sacks his rookie season, so 2 sacks in the 2018 season. So, I mean, he's had a pedestrian career for what he was projected to be honest. And then he's stopping the run is just not his thing. He's a situational pass rusher. He's a rotational pass rusher. That's what he is. You know, he's a guy that comes off the bench and comes in as a rotation guy. Like, he's really not going to be your starter. His run defense rating was a 50 per PFF, which was 170th out of 211 edge rushers. And you can see it he struggles to set the edge. A lot of our edge rushers struggle to set the edge, and that was a big reason why we struggled against stopping the run against any running back. It didn't matter who. It could be Rico Dowdle. He'd go out there and get 100 yards on us. James Conner, 100 yards. Bijan Robinson, 100 yards. Tyrone Tracy, Bucky Irving, Jahmyr Gibbs went crazy against us. Any running back you put out there went crazy on us. It didn't matter who it was. And Dante Fowler struggled against the run. He had 2 forced fumbles. He had a good season. And then the roughing the passer stuff, like, some of it was ticky-tacky, but, you know, when it keeps happening to the same guy, it's like, hey, man, like, you got to change and switch up. Like, something that you're doing is not right, clearly, because they keep calling the roughing the pass on him for a reason. But yeah, Dante Fowler's mouthing off, man. We know him and Dan Quinn get along really well, so it's unfortunate to see the relationship in this way. I know it's not Dan Quinn being the ultimate decision maker, but we see Adam Peters making decisions and making moves. Like, we just got to respect what Adam Peters decides to do, because clearly they're going to bring in Trey Hendrickson. Harold Landry's off the board. Myles Garrett is off the board, so there's really not many other guys out there. Zadarius Smith just got released from the Lions, so I would like to see him on the roster. I wouldn't mind that. And then you could draft a guy, but they're probably not going to produce as much as Dante Fowler, their rookie season. So really it's Trey Hendrickson, Zadarius Smith, Josh Sweat. Those are really the top 3 options right now. Azeez Ojulari, possibly he's decent, but, you know, he's not like, you know, world beater or elite or anything by any means. So, but Dante Fowler to mouth off like this, I'm intrigued to see what he gets in the open market, man. Like, I wish him the best. I really do. But when you're tweeting like that, that's it. You're not coming back. When you tweet stuff like, when you tweet and delete, for the most part, typically guys don't go back. Unless you're like a high-profile wide receiver or something like Brandon Ayuk, when he was mouthing off on Twitter and posting clips of Jaden Daniels and stuff like that, and practice clips and going on podcasts with Jaden Daniels. So, Dante Fowler, I wish him the best. Dyami, let's get it. All right, quickly, I just want to talk about Dyami, man. Like, these guys gave you a chance, man. And they picked you over a former first-round pick of Jahan Dotson. Like, they didn't have to do that. I mean, of course, they watched they were out there during training camp. They felt like you were the better player. They felt like Dyami was the better player. So they chose Dyami basically over Jahan Dotson, to be honest with you. I think that's what it came down to. Because we know Luke was going to make the roster off draft status and whatnot. But they picked Dyami Brown, man. And Dyami Brown, like, it's not like he came out the gate hot and running. Like, Dyami had a couple games where he was non-existent. and they gave him a chance, and he was a late bloomer. He didn't really show up until towards the end of the season, and really the playoffs. To be honest with you, like Dyami shouldn't be tweeting anything. Like, let's be real. He had 30 catches for 308 yards. You can find that on the streets. You can find that from Alameda Zacchaeus, guys like that. You can get Darius Slayton here, and he can do that. You can get Nick Westbrook-Akina. He can give you 300 yards pretty easily. There's a lot of guys that you can bring in. Amari Cooper can come in and give you easily 300 yards within 4 or 5 games. And this is what you did throughout 17 games of the season. I don't think Dyami missed a game this whole year. Like, let's be real. And I don't want to bag on Dyami like or nothing like that. The whole documentary and stuff like that, I'm excited to see a documentary with a different team. Apparently, that's what it's going to be. But coming on Twitter and stuff like that and tweeting out emojis, like, come on, y'all. Like, Jaden made y'all better. Jaden made him way better. Like, he didn't do this with any other quarterback. He didn't do this with Sam Howell, who he played with in Carolina. He didn't do none of this. He dropped passes in the preseason from Sam Howell. Just was never even able to connect and get a good chemistry with the guy that he had chemistry with in college. So, like, Dyami, like I said, I wish him the best. I think he's been a good sport and had a good attitude. And a lot of teams would have cut him. Like, a lot of teams would have been gave up on Dyami. Like, let's be real. We've seen other teams give up on receivers way, way earlier. And Dyami's been given a legit shot and a legit chance with a different regime. Like, 2021, 165 yards receiving. 2022, 143 yards receiving. 2023, 168 yards receiving. He never surpassed 200 yards receiving until this year. And he's played at least 15 games, so it's not like he's been hurt. And I'm not going to say all of it is his fault. And then he fumbled in the Eagles game. That was a big fumble. He fumbled in the Eagles game. He fumbled in the Eagles game in the playoffs, and then he fumbled in the other Eagles game too, where we ended up winning that game. So, like I said, I'm just leaving it at that. I'm going to just, hey, I wish Dyami the best. He's very good at screen passes, screen catches, and doing that. And I wish him the best. Hope he gets a bag, man. Tutu Atwell got $10 million. So I think Dyami should probably get around 9, and Adam Peters is like, hey, I don't want to pay that. I'd rather pay you like $6 million or something like that. And that may be the difference. I would have loved to see Dyami back, but maybe he's going with Noah Brown instead and bringing him back. We'll see. He does have that appendix injury, so that is dicey. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, like Dyami and Dante, like, man, like we haven't gotten stuff like this before, so we got to get used to stuff like this. People coming on Twitter and stuff and mouthing off or whatever. I guess, this is what happens when you start winning and stuff. Not everybody's going to be happy. So, but like I said, I wish those guys the best. I wish Dante the best. I wish Dyami the best. But doing this on Twitter, I disagree with it. But because they're going to get paid regardless. They're going to get their money anyway. I know they wanted to stay here and they feel disrespected. They feel neglected and whatnot. But like I said, I wish those two guys the best because they're gonna get paid. They're gonna get their money regardless. All right, you guys. As always, Dyami, man, documentary Dyami, man, and he had a bunch of drops through his career too. So like I said, this regime gave him a legit shot, and he capitalized towards the end. During the regular season, it was a little shaky, but he woke up in the playoffs. So I give him credit for that. The touchdown against Tampa Bay, the big play against the Lions, the and one where he got hit in the face. So I give him credit for that, but still, like you just, it's like bench players talking like starters type stuff. It really almost is like that. All right, guys, healthy winners. Peace.